Yeah.
What's your guys' predictions for the score predictions?
Devin, you go first.
All right, I'll go first. I'm not sure how the internet's doing, and this is kind of on the spot. I honestly haven't given it a ton of thought. In my mind, Chiefs, good offense, solid group. Niners, solid defense, good group. So it's kind of like a clash of two good groups. In my mind, like I feel like you can't go against Mahomes. I think he's going to take that game over with whatever receivers, he gets the ball to. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback, and so I'm thinking like a 27-23 Chiefs win. Why not? 27-23 Chiefs.
That's right around where mine was. I'll say mine after Tony's.
Mine's a little higher scoring, but same theme. I think it's going to be higher scoring, higher offense than we think. So I think it's going to be more like 34, 31, 37, 30 kind of realm. Chiefs as well. I think the way I'm looking at this is just on playoffs. The Chiefs took it to the Dolphins, they took it to the Bills at home, and they took it to the Rams at home. The Ravens. And they did everything that they were supposed to do against those teams.
Yep.
The Dolphins, they punched them in the mouth in the cold. They made them shrivel up pretty damn quick. The Bills, they went in their place. They went down. They won the game the way they should have. And then the Ravens, they beat them by being tougher and smarter than the Ravens. The Ravens were tough, but stupid tough, right? And so when I look at the Chiefs going through Dolphins, Bills away, Ravens away, and then I look at the 49ers who went through bye, really slow start against the Packers, should have lost, came back and won. Down 20 to the Lions, should have lost that game, came back,
should have
won.
lost.
I think that the 49ers are a really good team, but when I look at their playoff resume, it does not even look close. All we know about the 49ers is they are a powerhouse. But when I just look at their last three, or I guess with the Pro Bowl, 4 weeks of play, I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs. And I bet against them for the Bills and the Ravens. I didn't bet against the Dolphins. I thought the Dolphins were not going to do well in the cold, but I bet against for the other two, and I'm not doing it again. So I think it's going to be Chiefs by a touchdown, probably with the Chiefs ending up with over 30 points.
30 points, that's good. That's a lot of offense for me. I feel like these are two really good defenses, and funny enough is people talk about how good the Niners defense is, and rightfully so, but they're not as good as people have been giving them credit for all season long, because this playoff run that they went on, the Packers and the Lions lit up the scoreboard against them, and it's just the Chiefs defense is still pretty solid. I mean, aside from that Bills game and aside from the Dolphins game, which obviously has that asterisk against it because of how cold it was. Not saying the Dolphins would have beat them. I'm just saying that I think everyone knew the Chiefs were going to win that game. I certainly knew the Chiefs were going to win that game. But it was for me, once the Chiefs beat the Dolphins, and I knew they would, everyone was like, yeah, they're not going to beat the Bills. They're not going to beat the Bills. I was sitting there and I was like, if the Bills win, I'm not going to be surprised, but the Chiefs are going to pull a win off somehow. I know they will. And once they did, I was like, once the Chiefs beat the Bills, I was like, the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. I don't care who they play. They're winning the Super Bowl. Mahomes, once he gets into the playoffs at this rate, he's not losing. Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey, that defense that's been humming all year long. There's just too much experience on that squad, despite all the hiccups they had all year long, to get to this point and lose. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think Chiefs 28-24. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be not low scoring, but a little lower than a shootout, because like you said, the Niners struggled on offense early in both of those games for the most part until the third quarter is when they started scoring. And then on the flip side, Chiefs scored when they had to, except for, and then they got completely shut down in the second half against the Ravens. So I think there's gonna be a little defense going on early, and then they're gonna start moving the ball, and by then it's gonna be the point where they're playing against the clock, so they're not gonna score as much.
Yeah, maybe I'm a little off. Maybe I'm a little too high scoring. I don't know. Thoughts and prayers to Charles Lemenahue.
Yeah, that sucks.
guy.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Featured on the show a couple times with his drip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of little stuff around it that's like weird, and the Vegas is cool that it has it, but like everyone's gonna hate on the Taylor Swift stuff, and like I don't have an issue with, like I don't like the amount the NFL shows it, but it's not Taylor's fault or Travis's fault. Travis is a cool
Not at all.
guy. Taylor is
Yeah.
super cool from the documentaries and stuff I've seen and stuff. So like, it's not their fault. It's just the NFL doing NFL shit. So
That's
I don't know.
exactly
Yeah,
what I
there's
said.
just, there's, and it's also not Travis's fault that he's had two unpredictably huge back-to-back years for completely different reasons. Like between New Heights last year and taking off, and then having the Kelsey Bowl as the Super Bowl, and then the following year when like Eagles taper off, New Heights is like settled in as like this established thing, and then he starts dating Taylor Swift, and then it like goes up again. There's not much, he just, that's life.
Dude's a
so
genius.
That's a dude. He's on a 2-year run of like, football is one thing, but like life, just crazy shit.
Crazy enough is like people aren't even adding the Super Bowl into that talk right now. Like no one's mentioning that he's at the Super Bowl again. It's still all about the Taylor Swift stuff, and it's all about asking him questions about his brother possibly retiring or possibly coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.